You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Little Bug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 203 of another Woodshop podcast, the only podcast recorded entirely inside a Keebler elf treehouse after we got kicked out of the Girl Scout troop for quote unquote eating too much merchandise. Yeah, whatever. And in case you were wondering, Dan loves peanut butter patties because peanut butter patties are only available in Poland, while Braden and I are huge fans of Samoas because we love coconuts and are both big Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson fans. What's going on, everyone?
We want Samoa. We want Samoa.
Yeah, we're like the Kevin Hart to
Dan's The Rock.
No, I was gonna make that connection, but I'm like, he's no
Boulder.
Dan.
I'm gonna be honest.
Dan is our The Rock.
I'm at a loss for words right now. I have no idea what's going on.
We cash out all of your word tickets in the pre-show.
I guess Dan
Yes.
didn't like my intro, guys, so we're just gonna
I
record
did
a new
not.
one next week.
Dan is
Yeah,
now a
let's try
silent
again.
partner.
Tune back in next
episode
week
203.
to see if he does better.
Well, you know what, Dan? If anyone's listening to this on their web browser, you've got cookies now. So, yeah, you're welcome.
Cookies.
No, really, I'm not landing any of these tonight. Okay. Anyways, you know who else has cookies?
Our patrons?
That was the worst. We should just restart the whole show. Dan, go ahead, read names.
Big shout out to all of our patrons. You guys help us every week. You are the structure that keeps this body together. Unfortunately, I don't have any new names to read off this week because we didn't get any new patrons.
No new structure.
However, I would like to read off our VIP patrons because they go above and beyond every single week for us. And they are as follows: John Herbolsheimer of Living Laugh Woodworks, Luke Bosworth of Luke Bosworth, Jared Lipuma, Tyler Booth of Temecula Yard Games, Henry Lutens of Manfreda Woodworks, Mike Scotty Holland, Mike Illiterus,
Read it together.
Mike
I don't
Litterus.
We have a sponsor this week. Really? That's how
Yeah,
we
I
do
don't
it?
get it.
Actually,
I don't get it.
He can't read.
I'll tell you when you're older. Charlie
your mother.
Coons from Stubby K Studio, Justin Frazier of Frazier Canyon Woodworks, Jesse McIntyre from Sage Hill Woodcrafts, Michael at Gillette Woodworks, Victor at Whim Designs, Nipples and Brimmers at Nick Brim Woodworking. Goodness.
That's Megan. That has Megan written all over it.
Max Reed and I guess Alyssa too at Redesign Co. Matt Maynard of Patriotic Pines, Bill Burkle from WTB Woodworking,
Yoo.
Malcolm, the voice of AWP at Bossa Nova Woodworks, Justin Addy from Calvary Customs, Patty Whack and Genitalia at Patrick Gensel, Scott Shirk at Red League Custom Woodworks, Max and Mindy Coons at Stubby K Studio, Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks. Thank you to each and every one of you. If you want to help us financially, you can go over to patreon.com/another Woodshop podcast and get signed up for one of the many tiers we have over there. We have, as far as I know, we have 4 different tiers. And the names that I read every week are the VIP tier.
And the best part is the thing that keeps the spice alive as a VIP patron is the fact that it sounds like Dan's seeing your name for the very first time every single week.
Every week.
I am.
Yeah.
It's like the first time he laid eyes on you.
I don't read these beforehand.
Coons? What? Nick Brim?
No, the thing is, like, these folks can change their name on Patreon, so I don't pre-read these, which is probably
I
a
Nipple
failure on
Brimmers
my
has been a
part.
patron since the beginning. I don't know what you're talking about. You've been reading this name every week for a year.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you to each and every one of our patrons. We appreciate you long time. Thank you.
Yeah, and another big time patron that really helps sponsor the show is our sponsor, PwnCNC. They're
PWN.
they're the second or they're the seventh tier, special tier that's just for brands. But we're big friends and fans of PwnCNC, also known as PwnCNC here. You know, we all know you love your CNCs. We would love to pimp them out. We use them a lot, put them through some good work, and it's nice to treat them nice. You know, you give them nice bits to carve things up with, occasionally to break, but you know, there's other things that you can throw into your machine to beef it up and bring it up to the next level. And I like their slogan. It's like, you don't just own your CNC, dominate it, which is dominate it, own it, and dominate it. So yeah, bring your machine to the next level. It's a great way to pimp your tool out, because honestly, of all the tools that we have in the shop, like, not a lot of them are upgradable. We can make jigs and things like that for it, but like, you're not really upgrading your table saw. Your planer might get a helical head in it, but like, the CNC is one of those tools that you can truly customize. You got dust boots, you got different dust collection, you got different spoil boards, auto tool changers, and of course, a variety of spindle options. And PwnCNC offers all of those. So make sure to check them out and use code AWP at checkout for an extra 5% off your order. And the link is in the description below.
And not just that, they are a great American company. They're US based, mom and pop shop, built from the ground up. So if you want to support something like that, go hit them up.
You may pay for the whole spindle, but you only
Only
need
use
the edge.
Bit.
Wait,
Oh,
I don't think that works.
the people get it. At least anyone that watched wrestling growing up.
It's the thought that counts. All I know is I chucked a 2-inch surfacing bit into my spindle, and it demolished material. It didn't even notice it was there.
Would you say it dominated the material?
It pwned the material, that's for sure.
Yeah, how does your spoil board look now that you've planed off the top layer of the plywood?
Well, I removed that pesky and ugly white oak veneer, and now I'm down to good old-fashioned American MDF the way the Lord meant it.
You know that white oak is actually made out of pressed MDF?
I had heard that.
Yeah,
Is that why Sean Kirsch hates it so much?
Yeah. You could say he Kirsches their name in vain.
No, I don't like that
Nope.
joke.
Oh, that was a bit of a stretch. But yeah, go check out PwnCNC and use code AWP for 5% off your order. Get some accessories, pimp out your machine, and yeah, that's about it. Speaking of pimping, guys. Speaking of pimping,
We heard
It's not easy.
We heard you like spindles, so we put a spindle on your spindle.
there's a double spindle. Yeah, and while it's carving, it's doing like the V carve around it. Actually, ooh, that'd be a double head spindle. They do dual extruder.
Dual
3D
lasers.
printers.
And they do dual headed lasers. Why not do one with the CNC?
Guys, hear me out. A printer or a CNC called the Medusa, and it's got 8 heads on it, and they all got different bits.
I feel like you just like,
and they're all facing
completely,
different
like,
directions.
Auto tool changer out the window.
completely, like, skipped a
All the
couple
tools
levels.
at once. No changer.
Hear me
all
out, guys.
on
Not
hold.
just one spindle, 8 spindles.
8 spindles.
Why not? Why not jump from like 1 to 2? Little baby steps.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense because if you think about an auto tool changer, you've got the air pump and all that. Like it's a failure point. Whereas if you have 8 separate bits just hard lined into 8 separate spindles, nothing can fail there.
Yeah,
Doc,
listen, nothing can go wrong.
I watched Spider-Man. Doc Ock was dominating Spider-Man until Spider-Man got some accessories for his suit from PwnCNC using the code AWP, and that's when he beat Doc Ock. I'm saying.
Are you saying that Spider-Man No Way Home is actually an allegory tale of PwnCNC from conception to right now.
How do you not see this? Reddit / Spider-Man No Way Home is a lie. Doc Ock could have beat Peter Parker if it wasn't for PwnCNC. That's the Reddit. That's the whole thing. No spaces.
BRB. I'm going to type this up into fan theories.
Oh, I already have
our fan theories.
Well, speaking of fan theories, let's talk about some maker news. I'm going to kick it off. So the first thing is this weekend is the, as I lovingly call it, Fat Guy Hockey Game, the musical on ice, aka the Maker Hockey Game that Paul Jackman from Jackman Works has been throwing every single year for the last 2 years. And, that makes it a tradition. Last year he did it because he did the video where he was making custom hockey sticks out of different materials in a shop, including, of course, pallets. And this year is just basically a fun event for everyone to do. And did you just get another one, Dan?
2.
Just 2. Well, talk about that on What's on a Bench. That's you getting slammed. Dan's literally crying into his hands while I talk about hockey.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But there's no sport more American than hockey. So make sure to go support your country. Go support Jackman, Total Boat, and all the other makers that are going to be there. And most importantly, go support Nick Paci, who's going to be the ref. So if any call isn't the way you like it, you get to yell at him. And that's really fun. So join us at the game. We're going to be, all the details are on Jackman's page. I'll throw a link in the show notes, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see it. This is not an ad read, by the way. I'm like just super stoked to be there. I am bringing Emma, and we're going to have a good old time and then just hang out with Total Boat and all the fun makers around the game that are going to be super sore after playing all day.
I heard it's a BYOV event. Bring your own vegetables.
Oh, the V is not what I thought it was.
In case you don't like a call from the ref, you have to bring your own tomatoes to throw.
Oh, I did not realize that's what the V stood for.
I thought it was something else. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
BYOF. Bring your own fruit.
Oh no, Daniel. So crass.
Bring your own little blue pill.
So crass. But speaking of
it's
events,
a medical condition. It's fine.
It's also a medical condition to fly out to California to fight another podcast.
Our patrons? Wait, no, hold on. Yeah, so it is official. It is out there in the world. AWP, the boys, we are going to California for the Surfprep Makerpalooza event.
Extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find out something. And taco truck rating contest.
Makerchella?
Ooh.
Makerchella. I like that. That's good.
Makerchellada?
No.
Too far.
Too many syllables. Makerchella show title. I like that.
Officially the Surfprep sponsored West Coast Maker Meetup 2nd annual.
I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful here, but really, I mean, we all know why we're going there, why most people are going to be there. It's for the WWMF. It's for the World Wrestling Maker Federation. Like, we are going to be just dominating the other podcasts. If you're confused about who it is the Joint Terry podcast. The Jankery podcast. They're going to be there. And we're strictly going there to wrestle them WrestleMania style, luchador style. But you know what?
In a cage
made out of sander pads.
It's a $3 inflatable Walmart kiddie pool.
It holds Jello just as good as a tub.
It's just filled to the brim with bumbleshoots.
Don't say brim. Don't say brim.
Just filled to the Nick brim.
And then they just happen to be throwing a really, really awesome event right next to it, which is the fundraiser for Makers for St. Jude. So both great events.
They're gonna have taco trucks, food, drinks. They're gonna have a bunch of raffles. We were just talking to them earlier this week. They have, I would go so far as to say they are chock full of vendor provided raffle prizes from all of our favorite brands. Awesome sponsors. All the proceeds benefit the Makers for St. Jude program, so it's all going to St. Jude's.
I'm clapping. Silent clap.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
supporting anything that helps fight childhood cancer is there's only one right answer. So be there or be
Not there.
somewhere else and judged hard. But so that's coming up next
Wait.
month in a couple short weeks.
I'm
Yeah, less
excited
than a
for that.
month.
That's less than a month. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, that is yeah. So it's when is it, Braden?
June 8th.
Wow, that is less than a month.
I can't
Lake-
wait to show Dan the ocean for the first time.
I can't wait to see it. I've never seen the ocean.
It's gonna be glorious.
Lee Ocean.
This is a somewhat true fact.
Wait, have
I
you
don't
never
know.
seen the specific ocean?
Not specifically, but I've seen oceans.
You wait.
Yeah,
this-
Wikipedia doesn't count.
Also, there's a very good chance that Dan might not see the ocean. We're flying into the airport. We're gonna see it from the airplane, but that doesn't count. We all know that. And then you're gonna like drive inland from there.
Immediately inland. Hard.
I hate to break the news to you guys, but I'm pretty much a world traveler before like the woodworking thing took over.
Right.
Hey,
Your
you
World
guys knew
Travel,
this.
like World Star Tour, is actually part of World Star.
Elkhorn, Nebraska from Bellevue, Nebraska may seem like
There's
whole
a
new
beach in
world.
Fremont, Nebraska.
I will show
is
you
true.
the world. Shining,
Telling you.
shimmering Nebraska. Oh God. They go sample foods. You know when like Abu steals a bun, but like in your version, he steals the taco from Taco John's.
He steals a jar of mayo.
A jar of mayo.
Can we talk about this for a second? I
mayo?
don't know when the whole mayo thing started, but it has taken over my life. Everybody thinks that I like mayo.
It's
I'm-
really
I don't-
gotten out of hand.
Wait.
I don't
Dan,
like mayo.
Dan, do you not like mayo?
I don't like mayo. I don't know what this is all about.
Yeah. Way to try to gaslight the entire internet. Way to try to gaslight all 55,000 of our listeners.
You took a small
No.
bite. You were nibbling.
I was much like our recording software. I was like, Dan has the audacity to try to lie to our listeners. How dare you?
The only thing that would have made that lie more ridiculous is if you were actively scooping mayo by hand out of your 55-gallon drum.
Guys,
that
I
you
don't
keep
know
in
what
your
this
desk.
is about.
I don't even like mayo. I don't even like
I
it.
don't like this. This is stupid.
Have you guys added condiments to your mayo though? Like if you get a little mayo in it,
Oh, bro.
little
What's
olive oil
the
mayo. on
sauce
top of
from
the
that one
regular-
company that you were like raving about in a pre-show?
Raisin cane
Bruh.
sauce.
Raisin
It's
canes.
mayo based.
Hashtag not sponsored. It's ketchup based.
No, it's mayo based. Fight me.
It's mayo and ketchup based.
Can't believe this is.
No,
I
there's no ketchup.
apologize to all of
There's
our
no ketchup.
listeners for what this show has evolved into.
There's no ketchup in raisin cane sauce. There's no
We've
ketchup.
we've essentially.
I
turned this
have a
into-
con-
Is there
Contact at
raisins
Raisin-
or canes in it?
None of the above. I have a
What's the-
contact at Raising Canes. He can verify what I'm saying.
Dan's got a guy. He's got a guy on the inside.
I do. It's one of our VIP patrons.
I feel like I'm being lied
I'm a
to
guy.
right now. It's the same thing like
There's
when I
no-
go to
there's no
Harbor Freight.
ketchup.
It's not near water, nor is everything packed up into a big container. No, it's just all on a shelf. No water around. No Harbor Freight. Lies.
True.
The worst. The worst.
True. I'm not denying that. I'm denying it.
Let's see.
Well, speaking of denying and lies, do we have any other maker news?
I got nothing. I'm gonna be honest. I got
By the way,
nothing to say.
May for Makers is still happening. Are you guys actively participating? Braden, we're halfway through the month. How many posts have you done?
Okay, so
I-
I had a goal. Like, so last year I made it
It's fun to
4
pretend.
days in, and then I got distracted and busy, and I stopped doing it. And so this year I set what I thought was a very, very reasonable goal. I'm gonna get at least 5 days in.
And
You want to take a guess at how many days I made it?
1.
2.
1 day.
Yeah, I got it.
And this is the worst part. It wasn't even an original post. I recycled my May for Makers for day 1 post from last year.
Dude, that's half at best.
You're like
That's-
the worst type of person.
That's not even like half-ass. That's quarter-ass. Come on,
I wouldn't even give
That
him.
was-
I wouldn't
that
even
was
give
just
him a
a-
quarter. That's
That was just a
dime
cheek.
ass.
That was a cheek nibble. That's what that was.
Wow.
Yep, that's how far I got. So
You know what it is? I was all for I was actually getting to the point with my content. I'm like, all right, I can start stuff up. It's May's coming up. like I'm gonna start posting stuff, and a Made for Makers launches, and I'm like that stubborn girl, like I'm gonna clean the house today and do this. Like, hey, can you clean the house and do this? Nope. I'm just gonna sit on the couch now. F you, because you told me to do it, I won't do it. And it's like it's one of those, like, it's a weird, stupid. It's an ADHD thing. Whatever, I can't even say it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Adidas thing.
I don't know what HD is, but my doctor said I got 80 of them bitches.
Yeehaw, brother! I had every intention of doing Made for Makers this year,
As did I,
because we had Luke and Priscilla on, and well, actually, we had Luke on, not Priscilla, because pregnancy or whatever.
Things.
And we talked about Made for Makers and how they started it and they continue it with their Instagram handle. Help me out here, Pete.
Oh, PL Smith.
And
they make.
Yes, thank you. I had every intention of doing it this year because I was all about it, and I saw the first post and it was like, I think the first post was,
"What's your name?"
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I am not good.
I was just all shoulders and palms. Like, I don't know.
I'm not good at talking about myself. I can't do it. So I've just relegated myself to just liking the posts that come up. So that's how I'm participating.
Here's the thing.
Liking.
The whole Made for Makers is incredible. It's actually one of the more fun events. It's a great way to get involved and get out of your rut, because it almost gets you past the point of like caring as much about the thing. Like you know, a lot of us will try to get a perfect post, a perfect video. Like, this is gonna bomb, or this is dumb. I hate my voiceover. I don't have enough footage. But Made for Makers, some of the prompts, you can just post something very simple, and you're fulfilling the obligation and the script for it. So like you don't have to overthink it as much. It's a great way to get into just consistently posting content. The problem is, like, for me at least, I was like, literally, like, the week flew by and I was like, oh, it's May 5th. Made for Makers started I have 5 prompts to look through. I'll sit down and look at them, and then we were recording a podcast on like the 10th or whatever. Like, or what's today's date? Whatever. The 9th. And I'm like, oh, another 4 days have gone by. I haven't even looked at the prompts yet for the last 4 days. So it's just like, it kind of gets away from you if you're really busy. But that being said, it's really important I think it's a great way to get into the community and show off who you are. Yeah, what do you think?
Are you trying to make me feel bad because you're working?
No, that's
you're
me.
Succeeding.
No, this is literally me. Like, this is like, I wanted to actively do it, but time just gets away from you.
I get what you mean, and that was kind of what happened to me this year. Was it was starting, and I wanted to get at least my 5 posts. I'm no saint. I knew I was not going to make it through the whole month. I have lived with myself long enough that I knew that was not going to happen.
I know that guy.
But I wanted to get the 5 posts. But my problem was I had just started on here, and so suddenly I'm creating content.
So it's our fault.
Oh, it is 100. It's 100% your fault. But I was creating content for myself. That's a lie. I was not creating content for myself, but I was also starting to catch up and set up content for the podcast, and then for myself, and then I'm doing some job stuff. And yeah, like, next thing I knew, it was 10 days into the month. I'm like, well, I guess 2025 is going to be my year.
What
this is my year.
Date?
Yeah, I'm checking the Made for Maker.
We're more than halfway through.
We're
next year.
there. The real Made for Makers, though, is the friends that you make along the way.
Oh my God, get out of here.
Yes.
That's the real Made for Makers.
He says that all the time, but this is the one time.
I know.
It makes sense.
I hate him for saying it.
You can hate that you love me. You can hate that you love me.
All right, wait. So it
all
is.
The time.
We are recording this on the 6th. It's over. It's about to be the 17th, right? So the 16th is my favorite part about blank is blank. My favorite part about this podcast is Braden. All right, so the 17th is inspiration versus influence. What's the difference? We've talked about this topic for a while. 100%. Braden, I need you to find the actual clip of us talking about it. Thank you. And then just post it. Thanks. and then just tag us all so we have the content.
He licks his fingers.
Licks the pen. Okay,
Got it.
so let's say, all right. So I'll give you guys the next couple of days of prompts, just so people that are listening to either Saturday, if
Is
they're
this
patrons.
for like Chat GPT or
No, this
you
is
said
the ones
prompts.
from.
You said prompt.
Okay,
So-
you're not.
The-
Stop
the
reacting,
post
chat,
prompts.
Dan GPT. But I'm gonna give you guys the prompts or the because that's what they are. They're prompts for your maker post for the next couple of days, so that whether you're listening to it on Saturday because you're a patron and you get it a day early, or Sunday evening because you're a regular listener and we still love you, but you get it a day late, or if you're listening during the week. So here's the next couple of days. So Thursday is my favorite part about blank is blank. Friday is inspiration versus influence. What's the difference? I like that one. That's a good topic we've had before. Saturday, if you're scared to blank, remember to blank. I like that one. Very, very sensual, very naughty. I like it. Sunday, why is it important to blank? Well, I'll tell you when you're older. And then Monday, expectation versus reality. I like that one. That's actually a really
I
good
feel
one.
like a lot of these could be taken way out of context.
And just
lot of
making it
them-
worse than it needs to be. But Mondays is actually really good. The expectation versus reality, I think, is always a funny post. It's like what people think you do and what you actually do, and it's like something silly that we all just do.
That reminds me of
Just sanding.
the latest
Half an
TikTok
hour of
trend.
sanding.
Have you guys seen this? Where like, how do you spell chauffeur? Chauffeur. Well, screw you, Mr. Fancy McGee.
What on
No?
God's green earth are you talking about?
What's
It's expectation
What?
versus reality.
I think
You haven't seen this trend?
This is
No.
not a TikTok trend. I think that
Oh
you're on.
my
I think you're
God.
on the knockoff
Oh,
Temu version app.
You
are you
guys
still using that
have-
VPN in Netherlands? Because like
Nope. You guys take the show. I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna flood you with links. Dan's checking out for
if Dan
it.
finds a link, we'll throw in a link. But here's the thing: the last prompt on Tuesday, pro tip for blank. That's a good one. Just a pro tip of something you think that you have a lot of expertise in, or something that you learned from a professional that changed your life. Throw it in there. There you go. Some prompts.
Pro tip for makers. Yes. Just
Yeah.
start. Post. Trot.
Yeah, and
Dan-
these.
Dan seriously, he was serious.
Dan's on a
He is
different
into
planet.
the research. He's
I
something
told
about
you. I
chauffeuring.
told you. How do you guys not know about this trend? How am I hip? How am I hip to this?
Wow. You sure it's TikTok? Sure it wasn't Facebook?
Definitely
TikTok. It's the
Yeah.
it's the knockoff Norwegian version.
Turk.
All right.
Um,
Link incoming.
Oh, is it? Or is Dan sending us trends?
This is going to be a real expectations versus reality thing. Oh, it's.
I'm gonna just throw it into the show notes. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, don't listen to it now.
No, we can't. We're not doing it live. We're not doing it live. Okay. Do you guys have any other maker news that we should talk about?
No maker news.
Oh, you
But
getting
like
those tires?
world news.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of world news, but you don't come here for that.
The Human
We're
Torch
not going to
was
talk about it.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Can you believe it? It's crazy. Well, why don't we then get into our news, which is,
Which
I guess-
is
I guess,
Are-
it's just gonna freeze and not. I'm just gonna wait until this app stops crashing and it actually
Cool,
plays the audio.
cool.
Cool. So we're just gonna like sit here.
if
Oh,
only
that's
we
nice.
had some way to do it live. Maybe
Only
like
there was
the
a way-
artist.
for us to do it live.
I'm the artist formerly known as.
Dunlap.
Yes.
No, you're the
Are
artist.
you
formerly
are
known
you
as-
waiting for me to do it or
No,
you-
wait, hang on. I got it. Wait, ready? Did it freeze again?
What's on my bench? There
There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
my
my God. I'm
goodness.
so sorry. I don't know what happened.
Gee whiz.
Swear this never happens to me.
Hey, sometimes
not
you
what I
just
heard.
get overexcited and what's on your bench.
Well, Dan, I can't wait to hear what's on your bench. So, Braden, what's on your bench?
I am on the back end of the cedar planter boxes. I'm
you
doing.
had me at back end.
Oh yeah, I'm
Heavy up
doing.
planter.
Speaking of back ends, Dan, I need your truck's back end tomorrow.
I
Get
know.
a real truck, like a real man, instead of getting a Jeep, you Jeeple.
Hey, how about you hush
Me?
your mouth Ooh,
Oh,
right now.
I don't think you know what you've just done.
You put up your dukes. About to catch these hands. I'm on the back
I'm out
end.
of.
The back end of the planter boxes. I'm on the big ones now. The first two monsters were the 3x3 by almost threes. These are the 10 foot by 6 foot L-shaped ones. So I have no real idea how I'm going to transport these things. So what I've decided to do is I'm putting all the panels together and I'm just going to assemble them on site. And
that's probably the best way to do it.
I think it's the best way to do it without
Absolutely best way to
putting
do
in a
it.
bunch of like structural support to keep them from collapsing on themselves. So that's what I'm going to do there. I got the the puzzle boxes. Those are all en route from Asia. They're on their way here. I'm waiting to
The
get.
motherland, China.
Puzzle
wasn't-
boxes stand.
Yeah, something like that. uh, I'm waiting for them to land so that I can get tracking for them, but the tracking number has been created and it's definitely probably not fake. But I am waiting for those to show up. They're airship, so hopefully they should show up fairly quickly. The box is like 40 pounds, so I feel really, really bad for my UPS guy.
Wait, you said airship?
Airship.
Mothership.
Air freight.
There's
I
just
air
like
freighted
a
them.
no. You said wait, air freight or airship? Because an airship is like a
They're air
blimp.
they're air freighting
They're
on
just
an
coming
air
in.
shrimp. They're coming in on a blimp.
A shrimp.
A shrimp
A
boat.
shrimp shaped blimp coming from Asia. No wonder they're taking so long. They're on a blimp.
Lieutenant Dan.
Anyways, airship.
Okay. I am air freighting them on a airplane shaped ship shape. So yeah, so that's I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm prepping for the storm that is going to be that, which
You call this a storm? I got so many Forrest Gump references, you guys. You call this a
Are
storm?
are you air freight that they're not going to arrive on time?
no,
Air
I'm
freight,
not.
get it? No.
Yeah, no, I get it. The one thing that I'm really, really good at is being aggressively conservative on my delivery dates and my shipping times. So, I built in like 3 weeks of I've never done this before, so I don't know how or when they're going to show up. Sort of like flex time. So, I also aggressively overestimate how long it's going to take me to do the actual work. So I have 3 weeks of time set aside to put the logos on the boxes. I'm guessing I'm probably going to knock them out in like a week.
So that way, when you get them done
How many
ahead of
boxes?
schedule, quote unquote,
I can
you
set
look
the
like a
boxes
hero.
under promise and over deliver. That's what you want to do with your customers because that's how you get return customers.
How many of these boxes do you have?
3.
I have 400 of them.
Oh,
Okay.
I was way off.
Have you done the math on how long it takes you to take one, physically move it into the thing, line it up, press play, laser engrave, take out, place away?
Pete.
I have to assume that he's not going to do one at a time.
Yeah, what kind of laser boy are you?
Well, whatever. Even if you do 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever, like, and then all the work that are you measuring the time? The only reason I'm saying that is because even with my jigs where I have like multiples of the ice climbing tools or whatever, it all takes time. Like when you have to walk over, pull it out, place it back in, or whatever. I'm asking if you accounted for that time as well because I have gotten burned on that time.
That's
You're
like
gonna be so
minimal
proud.
time though. Like
Pete, you're going to be so proud. I built in 30 seconds of unit transfer time for each unit that has to run through.
Okay.
Oh my
I know we're being silly too, but like that's a real thing. Like
no, I'm serious. I actually factored in.
Are you
30
guys
seconds
being serious? I
per
thought we
unit.
were all joking.
No, we're not
dead
joking.
serious.
This is a thing. Like when you're doing batch work, like especially with a laser, like you engrave it, and like if it takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, sometimes like it's a big item and it's only like a 4-minute engraving, and then you live your life 4 minutes at a time over and over again. You like have to like go over there, yeah, pick it up. And now I'm cleaning the shop. Oh, beeped again. You got to go back and like it's really distracting and it adds up.
So this job last year, when I did 300 of them, is what paid for the OMTech, my laser that
OMTech,
I have
yep.
now, which I bought the largest engraved bed that I could because I knew that this job was going to come again. So I did all of last year's on an X Tool D1 Pro. So
It's
like a
so much faster
Oh
this
my
year.
it's like
goodness.
it's like a 20 by 20 cut space, and now I've got 20
Not even that. It's not even that.
24 inches by 40 inches. I'm going to be able to do like 5 times as many at a time.
I do just want to point out to anyone that's like, oh yeah, I want to get a bigger laser so I can do a faster job. Like, bigger doesn't always mean faster, especially when you're engraving. It just means you can fit more on the bed, but it takes
Yeah.
longer as well.
You
Like,
lose a lot less time to just moving product, like just
You cut
physically
back
moving
on that
product.
30-second prep time.
Yeah.
They were talking
yeah, exactly. 30-second prep time. Cut back a little bit.
But I'm also going to pick up a little bit of time per unit based on just the fact that I have a more powerful laser. I did all of those.
That right there is what's going to save you time. Right
I
there.
did all of those with a 10-watt laser, which is crazy because that was just astronomically faster than my like laser pointer on a gantry that I had originally bid the job on. Dan, you remember
I remember when you
my
were
old
thinking
laser?
about getting that second laser. We
No,
were on the phone when
re-
we talked about it. It was
I
like,
remember.
good luck, buddy. I love you.
Yep.
I remember Braden's original laser. It was a cheap Amazon POS.
Little diode laser. It
Yeah.
talks about it being like a 7-watt laser, and then you look at the actual label on it, and it's like a 1.5-watt laser. I brought in my buddy's X Tool. It worked so much better that I literally just turned off my laser and set it off to the side. Did the whole thing with the X Tool, which wasn't horrible.
Which was a 10-watt, actually.
Yeah, and that was a 10-watt. So I'm going to be able to cut down on
It's
time
so much faster.
just based on not having to slow down my speeds. I should be able to run at full speed. And I did all my math to figure out my lead time based on the X Tool speeds, assuming that it would allow me to, once again, under promise and over deliver to my
That's
customer.
perfect. That's great. That's a great way to do it. Absolutely. Or the other option is, we've heard people on this podcast say that like they won't turn their CNC on for less than $300 because literally material moving, everything, all that stuff is built into the price.
Yeah.
It's
all
all
that time that it takes you to put double-sided tape on and peel off the backing and then peel off the other side. Like, that takes time.
Don't do that.
I'm still
double-sided tape.
working.
No.
I haven't decided if I definitely don't think I want to go back to T-tracks on the new spoil board.
It's the only way I'll do it.
So for now, I'm using some of the 38,000 rolls of double-sided tape that XFasten gave out to everybody at Workbench Con.
Actually, that's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. If you didn't get XFasten double-sided tape from Workbench Con,
I would be Brad nailing that stuff in like I've been doing for years.
That stuff is expensive.
Really adds up. So
does that up. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Brad nail. Actually, I'm moving towards pin nails now.
I do the T-track thing, and I got the Rockler inline cam clamps. I use those. I just bought 8 new ones because I have a habit of running into the rubber for the clamps.
We all
Dan is essentially the Ricky Bobby of CNC. Like, he's here to win. He's not really that particular on how delicate he needs to be to do it.
I'm just imagining part of his G code every time he starts a carve. It's
Here's the thing. I don't want to sound too braggadocious, but like when you're running the volume that I do, like it doesn't freaking matter. You just got to get it done.
Dan's got a need for speeds and feeds.
Speeds and feeds.
I go through.
Dan t-shirt idea.
I go through probably, I want to say 20 of those clamps a year.
Look at this guy.
Wow, I got multiple clamp. Like Dan's the only man I've ever known that throws away a clamp.
I toss them out.
Away. I don't think I've ever thrown a clamp away. Clamps don't get thrown out.
I mean, once the rubber's gone, like they have no use. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not gonna. So here's the thing. I'll record videos of me throwing stuff out, and I get all sorts of comments. So like if you go back in this last week, I recorded a video of me throwing out a tray because it had a knot in it.
Oh yeah, that was trash.
It was not quality work.
It's not quality, but I got so many comments, dozens of comments saying I could fix that. If you were a real woodworker, you could fix it. Here's the thing. I don't have the time to justify.
You're not making a
saving that
show
piece.
piece, you're making a production piece.
Yeah.
I think that's what people don't
Yeah.
understand.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Like it serves no purpose for me to like spend all this time to save that piece. I actually tried in my stories. I tried. I didn't show this like outwardly. I tried and it failed miserably. So I ultimately just put it in my burn pile. I'm like,
Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean it goes right back to the getting a bigger laser thing. Like the time it takes you to move the material, the time it takes you to try and repair the knot or put it in epoxy, and then you've got to sand it, and then you've got to finish everything. It's just not worth it. The cost of that material to just replace it and just run it again
Right.
is
Right.
lower than trying to fix it and trying to save, what amounts to
Exactly.
$5 in material.
And then you get the people that are like, well, I would have paid for that raw material, but you're such a niche crowd. It wouldn't serve me any good to post that and say, well, there's a huge flaw in this, and I got to find the very right person to buy this.
I wonder if you could do, and this is one more thing that
I'm wasting money.
You just don't have time to do. But sort of like with your Dan scraps, I wonder what it would look like to just have a box where you put stuff that's like fixable but not to your quality, put it in there, and then just put it out as like, hey, $45 shipped.
Look, if I've learned anything from selling stuff online, I've learned that people are how do I put this politely?
Be nice, we have a sponsor. Be nice.
Entitled.
There's the word.
They're entitled.
Entitled?
No,
I know what you mean. Yeah. Well,
you put something out there.
You
put something out there, and you give it the right description. You tell people that it is scraps or it could be fixable, and they're gonna find something to complain about.
Like, here's the trick: don't put it on Etsy. Just post it out to other woodworkers. You might be able to get somebody that will slap that in a shop.
I think Braden's trying to buy
Etsy is ruined to me. I wouldn't do it.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Set them aside in a box. I'll come get them.
Yeah. I'll give it to people locally. Come get it. But I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it because that just opens the door for people to complain when you put a money factor on it. That gives them like what they feel is the right to complain.
Yeah, no,
you have no right to complain.
I think Amazon has ruined. Unfortunately, Amazon has ruined small business purchases online. In person, I feel like there's still like you can get away with, or just regular human interaction.
Oh yeah,
like you get something, you're like, well, this is what I bought, whatever. As soon as it's online, opinions come out. It's real.
I had somebody on Etsy. So every one of my Etsy listings has a 7 to 10 day lead time or more, depending on what you buy. But 7 to 10 day is like the normal. I had somebody buy something, and 3 days later, they messaged me and said, well, this is taking too long. This shop is, I'm very disappointed in this shop, and I don't want the product anymore. Like, bro, I'm not Amazon.
Yeah. Lead time is 3 days or a week or whatever. Yeah.
I'm one guy in my shop making all this stuff. Oh my goodness.
This is taking too long to deliver. My guy, it's an instant download. It's a digital file.
Yeah,
what do you want here?
Where's my saw? For 99 cents.
But no, I agree 100% with what Pete just said. Amazon has ruined.
Yeah, they really did.
Ruin people's perception of what it takes to get a product delivered.
Well, and Amazon's rough with shipping, and then just retail in general has gotten so bad because of this idea of the customer is always right being perverted from what it originally was. The customer is right in everything of essentially taste and style. The original phrase, or the original turn of phrase, was the customer's wrong about like 99% of the things that come out of their mouth. Things that are stylistic, things that they have an opinion of, they're always right. You can love having a popcorn ceiling. You can love having a teal and maroon argyle sweater. You think that's the best looking thing? Perfect. You're right. Hey, my sweater should have 3 arms on it, and you should give me a refund and give me the thing for free because it doesn't. No, you are absolutely wrong.
Yep.
And
They're not. They're wrong. They're right in taste, not right always in procedure.
And I think in
Correct.
person is a little bit better because in person still has that just gentle reminder that if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person on the wrong day, they might slap and you might get punched in the mouth.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think more
Yeah.
people need to remember you can get punched in the mouth.
Yes, and speaking of that, come to our craft fair this Saturday.
We promise we probably won't punch you in the mouth.
Free punch in the mouth with $100 purchase.
I'm sorry, Braden, was this your what's on the bench?
Yeah, this still has
We
what's on the
just
bench.
totally.
I had
Oh,
totally
Bogarted
for-
this thing.
I
You're
had
talking
told
about the
myself
craft fair?
before this that I need to remember to talk about the craft fair, but then I'd totally
Ugh.
forgotten. So I'll let you talk about our craft fair, Dan. What's on your bench?
Well, I'm gonna do. Oh, let me crouch
it
forward
Is it Etsy?
towards the mic. Braden and I are going to be doing a craft fair this very weekend. So if you hear this on Sunday,
Gross.
it's
You
gone.
missed it.
You missed it.
We're bringing ourselves a little buddy with us, aren't we?
I think so. I mean, he talks a big game, but I don't know if he's actually gonna like follow through.
Can't tell if
John
Taco
Cena.
or Nick Brim.
Nick Brim, actually.
Oh, okay.
Nick Brim actually he made a laser cart so you could laser stuff on the fly.
It's
And
battery powered.
He's got a battery power for it. He's got a fume extractor. So we're gonna like test that.
And
the
Megan's
site?
letting him leave the shop on the
Yes,
weekend.
his boss is letting him leave the shop, so that's
Wow.
nice.
That's a nice
put-
boss.
He put in the PTO onto UKG, so the times it's been approved.
As far as what's on my bench is I'm actually still working on some of the bar stools that I think I talked about them last week.
which you just
So-
sold 2 of during the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I need all sorts of help.
Oh, I'm sorry, you forgot, and I just reminded you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry.
Appreciate that.
I love how Dan always says, like, I need so much help. And then Nick and I immediately say, cool, we both have these machines that we could just run right now to help you out. And he's like, no. I'm very
No.
particular about it being done.
I am
You
particular-
guys are disgusting animals.
I want you to come to my shop and help me. I have all the things.
Disgusting.
I have all the things. I have all the materials and everything. Like if I hire you and Nick, like I would have to take you the materials. It just
For
it doesn't
like,
really
for like
add a whole
4
lot.
months, Dan, I literally had the material in my shop.
I don't
Also, if I keep driving to your house
don't
at
like-
1 a.m., my wife is going to start to have questions.
I mean, I'm a very gentle lover, so sorry, Aretha. This has got awkward.
Really awkward. Oh,
Chicken nuggets?
What was I talking about? Yes, so
Your stools.
I'm making these bar stools.
bar stools, yeah.
So I haven't made these bar stools in probably a year and a half, and I saved the files from back then, and I was able to make the skeleton no problem. I just cut everything out on the CNC and glued it together and dominoed and all that stuff. But the 3D seat file was a little bit more complicated because what I had done is I bought and downloaded a 3D CNC file from Etsy for a seat, but I had to heavily modify it to make it work for my purposes. And I couldn't remember exactly where I saved that file, so I had to replicate it, which took me forever because I didn't remember how I did it. I never took notes. I'm an awful, awful maker. So I had to rewatch all the videos that I thought I watched, and I had to replicate it from that.
I thought you were gonna say you were rewatching your own like reels and TikToks.
No, because I
remember
never did.
You did.
I never did a video or a reel of me making this 3D profile seat.
Dan,
so,
you're not a bad maker. You're just horribly disorganized.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I love Dan more than many things in life. But yes, I agree. We got to get you organized. You are a machine, and you could be like.
I don't disagree.
You could really dominate if you just had the right accessories
disagree.
in your.
Dan is essentially like a 1980s diesel engine. You just chuck anything in there and it'll just keep running. Like this thing's full of sand, it's full of cement. It just keeps on ticking.
Did you say cement?
Cement.
With a T on the end? Okay.
Concrete.
Just checking. Anyway, it took me forever to figure out how to replicate this file. And once I figured it out, like my Vectric, it told me it was like an 11-hour carve, and I'm like, oh, that is not right. That is not right. So I had to figure out how to like manipulate it to be a little bit faster. I got it down to an hour and 45 minutes. But that's still a pretty long time for
it is
a seat, which you could probably carve by hand with like an Arbortech blade on a angle grinder or something. So I figured that out, got it done. The seats are done. So now I just need to get everything together, and then I could probably send this barstool order off. In the meantime, I got 4 more orders of those barstools.
How many more?
4. An order for 4.
4 score and 7 stools ago.
Yes, an order for 4. So like if you go back a couple weeks, I think we were talking about Etsy, and you never know what you're going to get. Just put up a post, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I've had these posts up for over a year and a half probably, and I haven't sold a single bar stool, but they were just there. It was 20 cents to list it. Since that episode, I have sold 7 bar stools.
It's ridiculous. Here first, everybody. AWP is the makers. We
direct
make makers.
Financial conversion dimensions on episodes. Just saying.
No, the point is, if you have something that you think you could possibly sell, list it, whether it be on Etsy or Shopify or even the stupid Facebook marketplace.
ABL.
Put it out there.
Always
there might be a clientele for it. You never know. So anyway, my what's on the bench is pretty boring. It's all the same stuff as typical bow ties, ZCIs.
Craft fair with Braden.
Yes. This coming weekend on Saturday, we're recording on Thursday. Braden and I are going to be doing a craft fair at a local high school. I think Braden has his SHIT together.
So like a document?
I don't. I'm just going to throw things into the wind and see what sticks.
I have once again gone through the exact same steps and motions that I do for every craft fair, where I tell myself I'm going to be ready so I don't have to make stuff until midnight the night before.
You still will.
And here we are.
And I haven't made anything. No, that's a
I've
lie.
actually
I
been
did.
I've actually
start-
been making things. I've
I
been
started to
showing
make.
them
Yeah,
to you.
To
I
be fair,
started to
you're
make
always
some more.
making things. You don't necessarily make things for the fair all the time.
I keep trying to make like new things for the fair. But that's kind of the problem is I never have enough like what I think is new stuff. And so I'll try some new stuff. I'll keep myself up until like 2 a.m. for the week leading up to it. And then none of that stuff sells. And it's always the same stuff. It's just more whiskey smokers and a couple of other random things that happen to sell, but it's just whiskey smokers. So this time I'm not making anything new. I'm just making more whiskey smokers.
Braden Boak's Whiskey Smokers LLC.
Whisk 'em and smoke 'em.
What?
No, that's not quite right.
Nope.
I did come up with a new design though. So I have, well, not a new design, new for me design. It's a 2-part whiskey smoker. So you've got the part that sits on the cup or the glass, and then it has a lid that like magnets in. And the goal with that one is it's a little bit bigger, and it has a big open spot where I can put branding. So for like people's logos or names or Happy Father's Day, whatever you want. And so I'm actually going to start marketing those to some bars, some local like cigar shops, things like that, where they've got bars inside, things like that, so that they can put their logos on it. Try and get some more either wholesale orders or just some branding orders, because I love branding orders. So I'm going to do that. And then I took that digital file and I listed it. So it's my first digital file, and I sold 2 or 3 copies of it, like pretty
Very
much right
cool.
away.
Good stuff.
And it was so easy.
I actually saw a cool, it was a Lazy Susan type. Imagine like a round cutting board cut out of just straight boards, but it was like maple, hickory, applewood, like just different woods, all an oak, like stuck together, but it was circular. So you had like, a lot of hickory, a lot of oak, and then like I think applewood and maple were on the sides. And that was the bar's like smoke, like whiskey smoker. They would just burn, they burned the piece of wood in that section, and they just put a glass on top of it.
Oh,
And they would burn in another
nifty.
section of like hickory or whatever, put a glass on top on that, flip it over, and pour the drink in. So like
That's nifty.
yeah, it's like a Lazy Susan type thing where like you're able to spin it around. And like the bar clearly has had it for a while. They were doing a lot of burns on it because like they ended up writing in Sharpie what the wood was, but it was laser engraved. It said like hickory, oak, whatever. But the problem was once they burn it away, you kind of don't see it. But it was a nice like idea, like, oh, this is kind of different. Combining different woods that don't belong together in like a traditional cutting board, but for whiskey smoking could actually make sense.
It's like a little like scratch and sniff thing, but for like
burn and
like burn and
burn
smoke.
and glass
Like
and
burn and smoke.
sniff. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Some little food for thought there for you guys.
I'm
I
taking
think-
notes.
I think that there's a lot of market out there that some of us are missing, and some of us are doing a really, really good job of capturing. And I mean us, like the maker community.
What do you mean us people?
You know what I mean.
Makers.
I think there's a lot of us that are working really hard, or some of us are just missing the boat. And I'm guilty of it, of missing the boat on direct to business type sales. I think there's so much money in getting hooked up with businesses and just creating products for them, be it
yes.
bulk items or repurchasing something, kind of like I am with the puzzle boxes, and doing branding. Like there's just so much money out there. So if you're trying to kick off your business, figure out what kind of volume you can realistically handle and things that you can do that you can pitch to these businesses, and go out there and try and find a couple of larger customers, as opposed to doing like onesie twosie things where you're selling a cutting board a week for $60 sort of thing. So
Yeah, no.
there's a lot of opportunity out there.
It's all about the D2B, direct to business, because it's got the highest ROI, which helps the GDP, right? LOL. Anyways,
Raffle.
raffle.
Just don't get into ice climbing tools or puzzle boxes.
Yeah,
Those are locked down.
Here's the thing: the most painful jobs pay the best. As much as I hate to say it,
Well, people pay to have things done that they don't want to do.
That they don't want to do. It's weird. It's crazy how they will give you money to do it.
So Pete, what's on your bench?
There we go. Since Dan won't throw it to me, oh God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it still?
It was on your bench. Yeah, and then
I'm sorry.
We've been stalling until you were like.
You left in the middle of your own part.
So I listed my Festool CT36 on Facebook Marketplace.
Got more on his bench.
Yeah, I listed that on the Facebook Marketplace. It retails for like $800 plus.
I'll give you $75, and you have to bring it to me.
I'll give you $35 and a whole bunch of scrap wood.
Yeah, that's basically the answers I'm getting. I listed it for $450. I feel like that's more than fair. Actually,
that's the biggest mistake you made. You were trying to list it for fair, and everyone sees the price and goes, I
literally just got a message for will you take 200? And I responded with LOL no.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Come on.
That seems even more polite than what I would expect.
Dan listed for $650. And then when you get the low balls for $450, you could be like, all right, I'm doing you a favor. I'll do it. You never listed for the deal. You listed for what's like acceptable, and then they will lowball you.
I'm trying to be an honest guy, and people are trying to make.
It's Facebook Marketplace. They don't give a what you think. They don't want you to be a good person. Facebook Marketplace is the Wild West.
Anyway,
it is but. Because I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at Facebook Marketplace. I hate Facebook Marketplace.
Braden, I hate you so much right
now. Did he lowball you?
Yeah, yes.
Dude, Facebook Marketplace
$69
is so toxic. You cannot sell something there for a legitimate price because they straight up just look like lowball you. No matter what you make it, someone's trying to make you a crappy offer. These people are the worst. Sorry. And if you're one of those people,
I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook.
I know.
Anyway, Pete,
Facebook Marketplace is the new Craigslist.
Craigslist was it felt more legitimate on Craigslist. I don't know.
Ironically, the delegitimacy of Craigslist, like the Craigslist back alley deal, felt safer and less frustrating than Facebook.
Well, it's because Craigslist. We've talked about this before.
Craigslist didn't have that button.
The button, exactly.
The button.
It didn't have that make it offer. Everything. Yeah, is this still available? You know what? You not available for you because you asked.
Not to you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Pete, what is on your proverbial bench?
Oh, my bench. Should we play the intro again? I feel like it's been a while. But so mine's been like it's been a mix of personal stuff or home stuff and the shop stuff. So we did some baby shopping this week. We're finally like, all right.
That's not on your bench. Baby shopping.
There's a lot of research.
You put diapers on your bench?
It's on the changing bench.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff that's very technical. Bench. And like we've gotten some strollers from some family and friends and they don't match the car seat we want and all this. And it's getting to the point where I'm like,
those couples?
I'm going to be designing like a custom
have to have
mount.
Designers things.
No.
Like they have to integrate, like lock together.
They don't design to integrate. Not designer, Dan. I don't care about designer crap. No, they don't design it to fit together. It's like trying to put a Festool sustainer on like a pack out box. It just makes you want to set both of them on fire. Like they don't fit. None of these.
If you were ingenuity enough,
well, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to like literally design custom 3D printed stuff because there's no regulation in how this stuff is made for these companies. Like it's a kid's safety seat. There should be like you have to make this kind of mount. Boom.
There should be a universal kid safety seat
mount. Like you change from like a baby seat or like a stroller to a car seat or whatever. Like there should be some kind of regulation. It's ridiculous.
There is actually.
Well, there is on like the safety part of it, but
no.
What I want to know is why
continue and I will correct you.
Why do you hate capitalism, Pete? Why do you hate America?
Every company has a different mounting system for their strollers and their baby seats and all that stuff, and they only work with each other. And you have to buy special adapters for all the other companies, and half of them don't freaking work. which is a nightmare because they're like, oh, it works with Up a Baby. And then you try to Up a Baby and it doesn't work. It's the worst. I like literally like I was losing my mind trying to get all this together. It was to the point where Emma was like, she was handling all this. She's like, I need your help. This is ridiculous. And I started looking into it and I was pulling my hair out. I'm like, this is so dumb.
Is that
I
what
hate
happened?
all of it.
Is that why you're wearing a hat this week?
Yeah, I'm pulling my hair out. Yes, absolutely. Well, we never did the who we're wearing. We'll do that later. But so anyways, baby shopping, the worst thing on the planet. Super exciting. Very happy to do it. But like these companies do not make it easy. And there's so many like BS features that they try to throw. There's so many car seats, so many different, these like Up a Baby is basically the Festool of baby seats. And like those guys just screw that whole company. Like all their stuff is proprietary. It's annoying. I'm a first time dad.
But the Numa line, it's real choice.
Yeah, we go to Nuna Pippa. Yes, okay. It's gonna be the seat, but it doesn't fit any of our freaking strollers. And I have to figure out how to make a mount network.
The universal mount is in your car, not in the proprietary.
Yes.
Like
So
children's.
they'll all fit
whatever.
in the same car the same way.
But here's the
They
thing.
won't fit in the strollers.
We were fortunate enough to get a brand new stroller that's 4 years old. It's just brand new. They got 2 shipped to them by accident. It's been sitting in storage. Got a brand new one. Company doesn't exist anymore. They make a mount that fits this this other company. Doesn't fit. It's just stuff like that. It's really annoying. It's just
Hold
like
on.
if you're like, hey, here's an adapter from this Milwaukee.
Do you get
battery
annoyed
to
when your
DeWalt.
Festool doesn't plug into your Surfprep?
No. I get annoyed if I buy a Festool. I have a Festool battery and I buy a Festool to Surfprep adapter, and that doesn't work. But that's a bad example because there's no battery powered.
That's a
Surfprep.
terrible example.
But like if you got a Milwaukee drill and you buy a Milwaukee to DeWalt adapter and it does not work at all. That's what annoys me.
What I want to know.
You're just mad at the adapter company.
The adapter company is the company that makes the thing.
He's mad at he's mad at the
Anyways,
construct. That's what he's mad at.
I'm derailing the whole concept. If any parents out there, hopefully you relate to this because it's just crazy.
I want to know what stroller company, the fact that they no longer exist anymore, is it due to safety reasons? Because
Right.
No, it's actually not. They just went out of business. That's all it is. Don't
But
have it pulled
why?
up right now. I don't know.
why. I did take a look.
Had nothing
at
to
your
do with
guys-
any of those deaths. All dozens of them. Like no, it's
Here's the thing. New parents, if you're gonna buy into something like that, go with an established company like, I don't know, Graco.
Milwaukee.
Graco makes sprayers. Yes, they're very nice.
I'm talking about children things.
I know. There's a Graco sprayer company and there's Graco.
I did take a look at your baby registry though, and I wanted to see what like first time parent things you had on there that you would think that you need, that you definitely find out later that you have no need for.
Oh yeah.
I'm giving your list. I'm giving it an A. Like it's a really solid. It's a really solid list. I didn't
Where's
see
this
anything.
list? I don't know where this list is.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet. You know what? Screw it. I'll throw it in the freaking show notes.
Put it in the show notes.
Put it in the show notes. Yeah. If you guys want to help us out, we appreciate it, but we don't
Send them a bunch of bull crap gifts.
So I'm gonna get to this
you.
about a completely different subject, but like we made it public. So like there's been some we had a listener of the podcast from New Zealand, Ben Puja. Am I saying that right? He's from New Zealand. He's bought stuff from my shop before. He's a listener of the podcast. He bought something from the list.
Is that the guy that bought 2 sea tables from me in New Zealand?
Possibly. And he wanted to support and like sent a really nice note, sent us a message. Like I love this freaking community. People that like people asked us, and that's why we're like, okay, if someone wants to help us, we can't just be like, all right, no, it's okay. So, like,
nope.
Part of being a good gift giver is being a good gift receiver. I've had to learn because I was always the person that like turned away free stuff. But, like,
That's true.
Someone's nice enough to offer a gift. We appreciate it. Thank you. This is not in any way like, hey, we want stuff. If you want to, awesome. If you don't, we still love you guys. It's awesome. Like we're very excited to be parents. We'll figure this stuff out. Half the stuff on that list probably will end up using seldom or never. It's just it's stuff that everything on that list was recommended by a parent of at least one.
The thing that you can use the most that you have no idea how much you're going to use is diapers, especially in the first 3 months.
That's why I had a Costco membership.
He's got like five different brands of diapers on there.
Yeah. We thought we were set in diapers. We had hundreds of diapers. We didn't even have a fifth of what we needed.
Someone gave me some really great advice because like I just called to action for like, hey, parents, if you have some advice, send it over. And somebody was like, we always had a full box, like a Costco box of the next size up, just in stock.
Yeah.
Because at some point where it's like, her butt doesn't fit. You know, you don't want to realize that at 3 a.m. when she's having blow out for the last day. Like, you want to just go, oh, let me grab the big ones.
Oh,
boom.
And buy light on
You're
the
having a girl.
infant ones.
Yes. Yeah.
You're having a girl.
We're having a girl. Yes.
Pro tip. Wipe front to back.
Front, back.
Also, just in case any big brands are listening, we are offering up the naming rights to the child if you sponsor the podcast.
I mean, it's going to cost you, but...
Well, at this point, we're pretty committed to the name.
Rebecca Festool Kapar.
We're selling sponsorship rights, right? But maybe I won't announce it yet. I won't announce it until Emma gives me the green light. She's sleeping right now. But we do have a name picked out. Everything's set.
I can't wait to meet.
It's still kind of negotiable at this point.
I can't wait to meet little Vectric Surfprep Kapar.
They don't pay me, not yet. No. That little Levrak's gonna be such a beautiful child. But anyways, well, let's get off the baby stuff. So we went out baby shopping. Spent half the weekend doing that. We're also having to shop for a new couch because we're gonna spending a lot of time in our living room. Because I think I talked about this. We got the whole home theater set up and everything and big screen. And our couch sucks. So we wanted a bigger couch.
It does.
Somewhere where...
Can confirm.
Yeah, Dan slept on it. And...
numerous times.
We got a comfier couch. We got a white or an off-white couch because we don't expect any spills or anything to happen. So that's it's great. It's there. It's off-white.
Such a poor plan.
We also, don't worry, they had a protection program. We make sure to opt out because it's just like the undercoating. You don't do that. So we didn't get that. So we're good. Yeah. So we got this nice big
Target.
You're a maker. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
Pete, I generally consider you to be one of the smarter people that I know.
Oh,
you are a dumb, stupid idiot.
It's so great that Emma listens to this podcast and she's gonna hear all this too. But anyways, we got a new couch too. Very excited. Super comfy. Had a movie night on it already. Much excite. And yes, we expect stains on it. But that's just a couch. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. Aside from that, I had a maintenance day on all my power tools because it's getting nice out. So we took everything that runs on any kind of fuel and oil in the shed. We cleaned it up. My neighbor Joe came over, helped me out with the chainsaw. It was giving me trouble. Also, apparently, if you just leave the fuel intake on some of these, like the pressure washer, it'll bleed your entire fuel tank into your oil pan. So that's fun. I found out. Luckily, I didn't break the machine. I just had to drain it, and we had to refill everything and whatever. But it was kind of fun to do like a power tool.
No, actually, fun fact: my brother was just using his gas-powered pressure washer, and it blew up.
No,
sprayed oil and gasoline everywhere.
Oh God!
Yeah,
so I'm happy.
Sounds awesome.
We got everything drained off. I went to check the oil, and like fuel started spewing out. I'm like, that's not right. Yeah. Hey Joe, what are you up to? I got a couple beers. You want to come over and help out? So love that. So that was actually fun to get like some maintenance done on all my tools. I started tracking it, and because he's one of those guys like, keep a notebook in your car. Any maintenance you do, you write it on there. Like, shut up, old man. But like, I do it now, and I appreciate that I do it because I could always reference.
Are you wearing New Balance shoes by chance?
Oh yeah, they're downstairs. They're really comfy. Yeah.
I just can't wait.
Socks to come up halfway.
Yeah, but
I just can't wait for somebody to take his notebook out of his car glove box and be like, "Why is it talking about chainsaws so much in here?"
I have a separate one for the shop shed. But anyways, aside from that, we had a couple of it's been a crazy week, but we had a good like productive admin day. You guys were caught in the middle of that storm because some of the AWP stuff fell in there too. We were just like knocking out stuff on our task list, which felt really good because we often neglect admin days because we're not admin people. We hide in the shop for a reason. Some of us have computer jobs every day, all day, like Braden and I, and we don't want to sit in front of a computer longer than we need to. So me and them had a really like solid admin day, reached out to a bunch of sponsors, closed up some deals, reached out to new leads. We went through our Etsy reviews. We kind of been ignoring anytime somebody like favorites the shop, leaves a review, we just ignore it. And there was a couple that were just like straight up like 1-star review. Great, excellent product. Would recommend 4 stars. Son of a gun. Like, so we reached out to them with all our scripts that we have.
I think that when people leave 4-star reviews on Etsy, they actually think they're doing you a favor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're idiots.
They don't understand that anything less than a 5-star review is
trash.
Like, it's trash. It's no good.
And then what really blew me away is someone ordered something, left a 1-star review, didn't work with, it was my photo backdrop stands. And they were like, didn't work with this foam board that I used. 1 star. Didn't reach out to me, didn't do anything. I clicked on their profile. They have an Etsy shop. They deal with the same.
They know better.
Like, they know better. They know what they're like. And I reached out. They're like, "Hey,
they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Genuinely not happy. I would have loved to like make it right. I will do you a refund or whatever. Like, don't just leave a 1-star review and be a butthole about it. That's just rude. This isn't Amazon.
You should buy the cheapest thing in their shop and then leave them
just
a 1-star review.
Wreck them. Just wreck them.
Wreck them.
Yeah. So, anyways, hopefully she'll respond and rectify it. But like half the time when I send these messages out, it'll like fix it. Like, oh, I didn't realize blah blah 5 stars, or like the 1 star will go up to something else, or they'll cancel their thing. But like whatever, if none of these go through. But what sucks though is this is the first time since Star Seller has come out that I am below the 4.7 star rating.
I haven't been a star seller since it came out.
For me, the messages get me.
Here's the thing.
Not the stars. I always had that.
I have enough sales on Etsy that whenever I get one of those errant bull crap reviews, like I don't even let it bother me anymore. It's not worth my time. Absolutely not.
See, I wouldn't care about it.
It still bothers me. I'm still gonna message you guys like in our group chat or whatever.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, you've really grown as a person, Dan.
I'm still gonna complain, but I'm not gonna reach out. I'm not gonna do anything on the back end. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my time.
Yeah, it's just the only reason we noticed it because I was like, why did I lose this star seller thing? And it was that.
The world is full of negative,
idiots,
terrible, idiot people.
I hate to say it, but it's people that
morons who drive and vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is what it is. Whatever. But anyways, we had a very productive admin day. We knocked out a lot of stuff. It was productive, but like not a lot of shop stuff got done. But starting tomorrow, I'm actually gonna be in a shop all day. I took a day off with my neighbor Joe. He's gonna help me out for like 6-7 hours, whatever. And then this weekend we're heading up to the hockey game. So that's exciting. I've also run into
the hockey game.
The Maker. We already talked about it.
The hockey.
We did. In what's on our Maker?
I fell asleep.
News. He did.
What's on my weekend calendar?
I've been re-evaluating my trailer because I had to borrow my neighbor's trailer just to get 10-footer 2x4s, and it was pouring rain when we went to get them, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta sell my 4x8 or 5x8, which is really a 4.5 by 7.5, so you can't even get a freaking sheet of plywood in there. And I'm looking to get a 5x10.
If you angle it just right, maybe.
Yeah, no, but you can't because it's not, the door's not 4 feet tall. It's 3.5 feet, so you got to angle it and then flip it up. And once you get two sheets in there, you can't do anything.
Did you get that trailer from Temu?
No,
I would just like to point out, you're talking about your trailer, your separate trailer, not able to fit full sheets, and you were talking crap about my pickup truck, which is designed to haul 4x8 sheets.
You have a pickup truck?
He's got.
You have a Jeep though.
I got a Jeep pick 'em up truck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your pickup truck where you have to angle in sheet goods because it doesn't even lay flat in the back of it?
No, it lays flat. At
Yeah,
least
no,
I'll-
it's designed
I'll back up
to
Braden.
where it fits. I've hauled
Yeah.
like 12 sheets of plywood in the back of that thing
In the heap?
in the heap.
In
But
the
yeah,
heap?
I
That's
mean,
that's
I
a
don't even
soft
have
J,
to.
right?
I don't even have to angle the door to my separate trailer that can't even haul the material. So
Is that like a K truck? Is it like a Japanese thing?
You can
pretty much,
Pete,
yeah.
Pete,
It's an
I
American
love you.
K-truck.
I love you, bro. You can talk all the crap you want, but Braden got you beat right now.
Well,
His
anyways,
Jeep Gladiator can actually haul.
Glad he
sheet
ate her.
goods.
I saw that movie. That was great. But
It's a great movie. Should have won the
yes,
Oscar.
but we're talking. I am not getting a Jeep. I'm not getting a pickup truck. I
I'm
have
not
a
saying you
trailer.
should get a Jeep.
I know.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna talk
I'm saying
crap,
you should get a
like,
Jeep.
you
I'm just talking
can't
about
talk
crap about
against
Braden. Jeeps are fine. They're
Braden's
fine.
Jeep Gladiator.
But we're
It's
looking.
actually-
So we are looking at a new trailer at this point because I just like that broke me because I was
Have you thought
offloading-
about buying an actual truck?
No, absolutely not. I don't want that. I have a kid on the way. I have no desire to. I love my trunk. I store stuff in there all the time. It's bone dry. I don't have to roll up thing.
Bro,
I think trucks have a purpose, but I
my
don't need
truck
a
can
truck.
actually haul more people. More people.
I think that this is a really good topic for us to talk about on our Tuesday night podcast, another car podcast.
That's what it was. That's the name.
No, literally, my truck can haul more people
Why are we getting?
comfortably than my wife's sedan.
Yeah, but my car has 7 seats or whatever inside, and it still has trunk space, and I don't need the.
Here's the thing.
Wait,
Pete.
why are we? I'm not getting a truck. I'm talking about a trailer. I'm not shitting on anyone's cars.
We're going down this road.
We've apparently hit a hot button topic. We've hit a
I don't know
trigger
why
for
Dan's
Dan.
getting so
We're going
hot
down
about
this road.
this.
If you put 7 people in your vehicle,
Mhm.
you can't put any plywood sheets in your vehicle.
I can't put any plywood sheets in my vehicle right now.
Okay.
I was never
I
saying
can
that.
put
my car
I can
could
put
fit.
6 people in my vehicle and haul all the plywood.
All the plywood.
I know, but I wasn't crapping on your car. I'm saying I'm looking at a trailer. I feel like Dan jumped on this bandwagon, like was gonna like shut me down. Like I'm not talking about cars.
No,
right now.
you said trucks can't haul as many people. I can put 6 people in my truck.
Yeah, but he could put like 37 people in his trailer.
How can you fit 6
Ugh.
people in your car? I'm actually.
No, I can. 6 people.
It's bench seat. Doesn't matter. You know what?
No, the front seat is a bench seat, so I can put 3 people in the front.
Oh, that's right. You
There's
got the
seat belts for everybody.
new
There's seat
Tacoma,
belts
I
for
forgot.
everybody. I don't have a Tacoma. I'll
How
slice
dare
you
you?
and dice
How
you.
dare you, Peter?
And there can be 3
Oh,
people in the back.
Man, Dan really
Comfortably.
jumped in his bandwagon.
Comfortably.
Dan, I'm not getting a truck. It's fine. I've got my
Get a truck.
I got my minivan. That's fine. My Ford Explorer minivan. I love it. It's great. But anyways, before
Back to your
Dan
trailer.
went off on a tangent about trucks, I'm looking to probably sell my trailer and get a 5x10 so I can, but like a true 5x10 on the inside. I actually stood next to everyone's like, oh, get a 6x12, get a 6x12. You're going to regret it. Like, I'm not moving giant, God knows what else in there, like furniture.
It's like a
pieces, whatever.
jointer. If you
Like,
don't get
I don't
if you
want a
don't get big
giant
enough, you're
trailer
gonna-
sitting next to the house and me use it once a month or whatever, but I will get a
you
5x10.
you
Something
can
that-
convert it to like a sleeper camper.
But I need a trailer. I don't need a sleeper. It's a different product.
Put a bathroom in there and call yourself
Dan's
Bourbon
just going
Bob.
off on a rampage. Anyways, I'm looking
Dan-
at a 5x10 trailer. I'm really excited for that. I would love something with like a 6-foot ceiling so I can actually stand in it. But
Oh,
just,
Might
so
as well
this
go with the
guy's
7
pretending
foot.
he's 6 foot now. Oh
Might
my
as well
goodness!
go with the 7 foot.
I'm
ceiling.
5'10", but I don't want to have to duck. Right now, I have to duck over the entryway, and then it's only about 4.5 feet inside. So, yeah, it's an upgrade.
I just love how Dan is here to fight. He's not really picky
He's
about
like-
what
he's ready
about.
to fight.
He's
He's
just
being
gonna fight
spicy
with somebody.
He's like,
I'm
trailer,
snapping my
get
knuckles.
the F out of here, truck. You know,
Truck?
So it's just-
We're fighting about trucks.
when do we
fighting
get a
about
Ford
trailers.
sponsorship or Chevy or whatever?
Chevy, hit
Whatever
me
you're
up.
driving these
Chevy. I just want you to knock a few payments off.
just help out. I don't need a new truck. Just like, or put some wheels on this baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Chevy.
Dan will literally sell the podcast to
I
you
will.
for wheels.
If I could get some ZR2 2500 wheels.
And put it out there in the
Zero
world.
clearance wheels.
No, ZR2, not ZCI. ZR2.
What's a ZR2 wheel?
It's a big beefier
Zero
wheel.
zero roundness. Too.
Zero, yeah,
It's a
zero
square wheel.
roundness. It's a zero roundness wheel.
Only
It's
available
just
on
square
Temu.
wheels. But anyways,
in Alibaba if you buy enough.
that's everything on my bench. But before we I guess we get into the other stuff, we should probably talk about who we're wearing, boys.
Braden, you go first.
Braden, you go first. You got some gear on today.
Well, I got my Daniel Dunlap's famous wood mayo shirt on. Dug out a classic.
Now with more Petri oil.
Now with more Petri oil. Yeah. And I got my limited
obviously.
edition Surfprep Nooks and Crannies hat.
Is that the one that you made specifically?
Yep.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like something they would market, but I like it. It's edgy. It's cool.
I'm pretty sure that was the one that he made to try to sell them on it, and they were like,
They loved it. No, they loved it. Yeah,
they loved it so much.
We
they were
love
like,
it. We can't sell it, but we love it.
We love
Hannah-
it, but we can't say yes to any of them. You wear it.
Our
No,
lawyers say we can't.
I made these for Hannah and Skylar for Workbench Con to thank them for helping me get there last
Oh, they
year.
caught
so-
fire by accident right before the show.
What? But
Did they wear them at the event?
yeah. Oh yeah, they loved them.
Oh, I didn't even see. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they loved them.
You got to make some for
You ask
the
Hannah.
meetup.
Hannah loves like the silly knockoff like catchphrases for Surf Prep. So
I feel like Hannah gets reined in by lawyers more than we do.
probably they have to have some on retainer, just like
Yeah.
really good ones.
It's like Hannah specific Hannah idea lawyers. It's like, all right, call him. We can't do this one. Sorry,
Is Johnny Cochran available?
he's on retainer.
I think he's dead, actually.
Oh,
To be-
too soon, Dan.
I'm sorry.
He went the way of OJ.
But then
That's too soon.
Too soon? Oh, Dan, who are
But
you
then
wearing?
the only other thing that I'm wearing is my my Daniel Dunlap's Woodworks underwear, ZCI, zero clearance.
Oh, I'm wearing the Drew Witt underwear.
Are they just really wet? Just a lot of moisture.
Yes. There's a lot of moisture. I think that's the thing.
It's silk.
I'm also wearing my Surf Prep t-shirt. They sent me They sent me a content creator box. I got the hiccups really bad.
He gets really worked up talking about Surf Prep, really emotional.
It's choked up.
They sent me a content creator box last week or the week before, and I just opened it today because I don't know if you know this about me.
You're busy.
He's very behind.
You're slammed, if you will.
Slammed.
He's Etsy'd up
to the ground. So I just opened the box today, and this T-shirt was in there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's actually a very nice T-shirt. It's actually super comfortable. It's one of the ones I like. I think it's the Bella Canvas shirt, and it just says Surf Prep. It's got some stuff on the back, but I haven't looked at the back.
Put some clothes
I don't know
on.
what's back there. And the hat that I'm wearing is a blank canvas Temu hat
Ooh, Temu.
that will get a Daniel Dunlap logo on it, probably mañana. That is tomorrow in Spanish.
Ooh.
Exotic.
Pete, what are you wearing?
What's
I
that
got
drip?
my
What's
boys.
that drip, Pete?
I got my Scotty Holland Elevated Wood Co. Yeah, I got that on.
Can I say this real fast?
Oh, you.
Can I say something?
I'm
real
sure
fast?
you will.
I love me some Scotty Holland, and Scotty sent me a hat a
Top
while
5
back,
Scotties, definitely.
and it's a beautiful hat, and I keep it close to my desk because I love it so much. But I don't know what it is. I don't know, like my head shape is bad.
Yes.
That.
But
Yes.
when I wear it it just
You-
looks funny on me. So I always admire my Scotty elevated wood design hat from afar.
I like it because it's teal, aqua,
The-
whatever.
Flat brim
seafoam.
hats do not look good on
It's
me.
not flap though. It's got a curve to it.
Dan, are you saying that it's more oats than Scotty Holland?
Wow, I get it. That's a joke about music.
Boom, boom.
Oh, Holland Oats.
Dan's too
Oh.
young to know about that one.
No, shut up. They're some of my favorites.
Hey, you make
Speaking of
my
some of
dreams
my
come
favorites, speaking of some of my favorites, I'm also wearing a shirt from Max and Mindy Coons. Openly gray.
Openly gray. I
Yeah,
wore
me
that
and-
last week.
Yeah, me and Emma, we finally got around to opening up the box because we've just been so busy, and she got one as well. So we're super excited. Thanks for that, guys. And of course, like I said, the Druid underwear. Yep.
Oh yeah, the underwear. I do Commando. Is that a Commando Woodworks? Is that a thing?
true. I think that's a character red thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then John Malecki slippers. That's I wear that every day. Very comfortable. They're much like John Malecki. They're soft. I'm gonna get my butt kicked at work bench. He's gonna whip my butt. Anyways, let's get into questions because we're an hour and a half in, and Dan fighting
my
with me
goodness.
about a car took about 20 minutes. So let's get into this.
Hooray! Question mark?
We're trying out some new audio
We-
for questions. So
We found some new internet
Bill.
buttons.
I
It's
don't hate-
lovely.
well, the other option was
Question?
Oh,
Destiny's Child. Yep, I don't know.
no,
Well, let
the
us
other
know which
is
one you like better.
The other one
Okay.
is better.
Anyways, first question's from Josh the father.
Mm,
Hey there,
Jose
guys.
the
It's
Papi.
Josh the Dad. Yeah, Josh the Dad, one of the big IG, coming at you with this week's questions. You know, gimmicks. They're fun. Hey, but somebody took me up on that. Send me a DM on the big IG, and I'll send in the question because, you know, I don't mind doing it. I kind of like
I
it.
love that.
So I'm going to bring in my little buddy, Bill, to help me out. Bill, come here.
All right, here it comes. Okay, let's do this. Here's the question. What is your favorite cheap table saw from the big box stores? Josh, did you have something like this?
Yes, starting out, I had a skill saw from one of those stores. And needless to say, I didn't keep it very long, and I no longer have a table saw. So, what do you guys suggest? What's one that's going to be reliable? And that's the big thing. Reliable, affordable table saw from a big box store. All right. Well, hey, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.
Well, I'll go first. I had an answer that I would always give people in the past, but I'm gonna get away from that answer because I don't like that big box store anymore. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, go back a few episodes and you'll understand why I don't like that big box store.
Between you and Adam Barnett, I'm starting to run out of stores to go to.
Hey, you don't have to do what I do. You just got to listen to what I have to say. So being a purveyor of ZCIs, I actually have my hand in the pool of all sorts of different table saws. And one of the ones that is really popular that I had no idea was as popular as it is the skill saw from Menards. It's the TS6307. And one of the things that makes that table saw super popular is not only the price point, but the ability to put on a dado stack.
Huh. Not a lot of
Yeah.
saws can do that.
Not
like
not not for the
How
intro
wide can
level.
you go? Like how thick of a dado? You know?
Half inch.
Okay,
But
that's
that's-
reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like that's not a thing that you can do for a lot of the entry level table saws, like job site saws, like the DeWalt's, the Bosch's, the Milwaukee's. So if you're looking for a really good quality entry level table saw, I would say look at the Skill TS6307. And
Do you know what the price point is on that one?
I want to say it's like $399. I could be way off. Please double check that. And the table saw that I used to recommend is actually the Delta 36-725, and you can get it from the Big Blue box store, which shall not be named. The great thing about that table saw,
Hey, Dan.
the price point is $5.99.
Do you want to tell him or should I tell him?
You already recommended your saw.
I'm gonna recommend another one.
No, you're not. Nope.
I-
You're done. Nope.
Is somebody else gonna recommend that table saw?
Pete, what table saw would you recommend?
Sorry, just like cut him off. Just cut him off.
No, continue.
I was just gonna add that Dan, Delta's also sold at the Orange store. Not that exact same model, but bigger version of it.
It's not.
I'm looking at their site right now.
No, only by special order. You can't get it in the store.
So you can get it from
Yep.
the store.
Pick up free ship to store or delivery free.
Not in store. They don't carry
But
it
it's
in
still
store.
available. It's the saw recommendation, not necessarily the store.
This is the truck thing all over again.
Yeah,
Dan
it's
just
trucks
wants to
all over
fight
again.
tonight.
But it's available in that store as well.
Yeah, and the rigid version.
Yeah. So if I had to recommend, first of all, all I'm going to say is get whatever fits your shop, because I'm always going to recommend a dedicated standing contractor saw, I guess they're called.
Why
right?
would you recommend that Delta saw though?
Well, either the Delta or the rigid, because they have
why?
a dedicated stand. They're built straight from the saw to the floor. They have very little play. They've got a good amount of features. I think they do support the 1/2-inch dado stack as well on them. They have some dust collection on them. And because of how popular they are, there is an abundance of accessories and 3D printed jigs that you can find online for them, either for free or to buy on Etsy. But the main thing is, it gives you a very nice reference surface. The table's actually a lot deeper, which means the blade is actually set back a little further, allowing you more surface area to use as a reference when you're starting your cut, making it a lot safer. And safety is a big thing for me. That being said, if you can only get away with the basic, DeWalt, Ryobi, whatever other company contractor saw that you could like pick up, or sorry, not contractor saw. Those are called like construction site, whatever, job site saw. Job site. Thank you. Job site saw. If that's all you can get away with, awesome. I highly recommend at the very least build yourself an outfeed table. It'll make it so much safer to cut on. The more reference surface you can add around it, the better. But I just think there's something very solid and reliable about having a saw that stands fully on the floor by itself, has some weight, potentially has a cast iron top, which is actually solid. You can use magnets on it. It's got weight to it and just feels a lot more safe to use because of how rigid it is, and not to call them out by brand here. But that was my saw for many years. I had the early 2000s, late 90s rigid model, which actually had holes in the cast iron where you can put a clamp through it and clamp like a stop block or a feather board. That was their whole intention for it. But it felt solid. It wasn't a great saw by any means, but it never felt like flimsy like my old DeWalt did, which I had for 12 years or something. Dan, what do you think?
I realized I already went, and I'm going to cut in front of Braden here. But one of the reasons why I always recommend that Delta saw, the 36-725, is not only the build quality, but the fence quality. The fence quality is phenomenal. It's got the T-style fence, which is very, very rigid. And that's one of the best things that you can do to upgrade your saw or have a professional quality saw is have a really solid and rigid fence. And that coming with the Delta 36-725 is actually it's a huge selling point for that saw, the fence itself.
I agree. It's got a lot of fun features, and they're only about $700-800.
Last time I checked, it was $5.99 at the
nice.
Orange box store.
Yeah,
and I could be wrong. Double check
for
that.
sales, because like I've definitely I got mine used for like $300. And at the
Yeah, you can
store,
find them on
it's a
Facebook
topless
Marketplace
wrecked.
if you look enough.
But it's
That one
it's cheap
also
enough.
regularly goes on clearance just for like back stock. It will regularly go on clearance for like $300.
Yes.
So I mean, if you can catch a good deal, you've got to jump because the
And-
resellers will buy them all up. But
Yeah.
Right. And that is considered a job site saw, but it's a very capable job site saw.
I'm pretty sure
Very
that one's
capable.
considered a contractor saw. Yeah, that one's a contractor saw because
Oh,
it has a
you're right.
full
I'm sorry.
built-in
I
legs.
misspoke. It's a contractor saw. I apologize.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll allow it. But Braden, what would you recommend?
Well, I was going to recommend the T2, the Delta T2, because that's what I started with. And for
Yeah,
all the
sponsorship,
all of
guys, we got to
this-
get on that.
for all the same reasons, it's a solid fence and it's a good saw. You can use a dado stack. Like there's a lot of good benefits to it. The saw that I stood in the store for probably an hour bouncing back and forth between was that one, and then also the Bosch. They have a job site saw that is, I feel, a sturdier saw, but I really liked the fact that the Delta was a contractor saw. But
Is it the one with the stand?
you can get, yeah,
The
you can
Bosch
get like a gravity
4100 is
Yep.
what it is.
and you can get it.
I know this because of the ZCI world.
Yeah.
I make all the ZCIs for these saws.
I was kind of
You
impressed.
can-
Like, how does Dan know all these? Oh.
Dan's the math guy.
Yeah, that's the one
But-
I see on a stand a lot. For $500-$600.
It's like the same price point as that Delta. You can get like one of those gravity stands, or what my plan was to build it directly into my outfeed table. So if you're going to get something and you're going to, you're kind of pressed for space, you're going to build it into an outfeed table. Sometimes those job site saws are maybe a better option. So that one was really, really sturdy. It just didn't have the legs. So a lot of value there. And then the one that came out, I think probably after all of us had moved on to like our next saw, SawStop came out with that job site saw. And in terms of like
That's
SawStop
true.
cost, I mean, it's $8.99, but
It's pricey.
it's on the pricey end of SawStop, but you can get the safety features.
Yeah, you
It's
get
a
that
good saw.
you get that peace of mind.
Yep. So I think that's another one that I probably would have considered if it had been out around the same time.
One thing I will say is that, much like with many tools, with lasers, with CNCs, there's the cheap versions, like that we're talking about, because they're in the grand scheme of things fairly cheap. Then there's the ones that are like cheap trying to be professional, or professional dialed down to an irresponsible level. Don't get any of that stuff. Don't get the table saws in like the $1,100, $1,200, $1,000 even. Like they start getting it's really weird. It's a weird, and this happens with a lot of tools. You get into like, I don't want to call out any companies by brand here, but let's just say it's not a black bear, it's a different type of bear, and they make table saws, and it might not be the best table saw you can get. It's about $1,000, and it's, it looks like with all the big boy saws, but it's not quite. Dan finally got it. It's nowhere near a $2,500 cabinet saw. It's you can get it. They're fine. They're fine tools. You can get away with a lot of stuff. They have their bells and whistles, but there's something about that price point that they're trying to be the big boy, but
Right.
you're really kind of shorting yourself on a lot of stuff.
This really comes down to the old saying, you get what you pay for.
Mhm.
That's so true in so many facets of life, and table saws is one of them. A table saw is not a machine you want to mess around with
Nope.
or skimp on. So just do your due diligence, do your research, know what you're kind of getting into, and go from there.
Yeah,
We
right
can
on.
we can only give you a stepping stone.
Yeah, and all the saws with the cheap saws we named, they what they do for the price point, they do well.
Right.
They don't have all the bells and whistles. Good answers, guys. Good stuff. All right, next question we got from Jared Foster.
Hey there, AWP, long-time listener, first-time caller. JD here. Got a quick question for you. I'm working on a bistro table, about 30 inches around, 3 legs, and I'm trying to come up with a clever way of connecting all 3 legs at the center point, and I was just kind of curious what you guys would do. Yeah, would love to hear some ideas. Thanks. Bye.
Well, Dan, you do a lot of table legs and stuff. Do you want to start this one off?
Yeah. Why do you need to connect the table legs?
Oh, edgy. Yeah, you're right, man. Drywall screw right through the top, right
Hot
into the
take.
leg.
No. If you don't have to connect the table legs, you're not making a solid base. If you make a solid base, you need to account for wood movement. If your legs are independent on that 30-inch round top, you don't have to account for wood movement as much. So I would do a leg, and I could draw you a picture, but this is an audio podcast. But I would do a leg where like it's got a little bit of an arm, and then it comes down, and it sits independently, and you could screw that onto the wood, and that in and of itself would account for wood movement. That's what I would do. Obviously, you didn't tell us exactly what your design idea was, so that's just me spitballing. Raiden, you look like you're a deer in the headlights.
I think that maybe I'm just not understanding what this is meant to look like. Like this is
Well, a cocktail
have
table,
something-
just think of like you'd stand at a bar, standing height.
Yeah, standing
table.
height.
Or like a
obviously.
wedding, you're at a wedding and it's not, there's no seats around it. You're just standing, but it's comfortable enough to like place your little plate and a drink there.
So
it's gonna tall.
it could be a. Did he say 3 legs?
Yeah,
He
he
said
said
3
that-
legs,
I think it's the
specifically.
three
Okay.
legs part that's throwing me off. Because I mean, at that height and that size and all that, I would be looking for just a single base that flares out. Just
Yeah, if you're a coward.
I mean, in this exact
mean-
instance, I'll be the coward. Like that's what I
You
would go
could
with.
you could put the legs together, but you don't have to like put them together. They could just like touch together. They could just come together,
at the
but not
tip?
be like affixed together. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Yeah.
need to be attached to one another. They just need to be attached to the top.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think maybe
Damn right, it makes
maybe
sense.
I'm just
I'm a
missing.
smart guy.
I'm having a really hard time visualizing this one. So my advice would be find yourself a Dan and then just go ask your Dan how he would do it, and then just do that
We
because
are
that's
the
what I would
Dans.
do.
We're his Dan. Well, Jared, what I would do, or JD, as he said, my first place my brain went was kind of the pillar leg, and then the feet at the bottom to kind of like level it out. But if you are trying to do an actual like 3 legs, I've had this like 3-leg design in my head for a while where I'm a big fan of unnecessary intricate joinery that only the people you really want to see will see it. Like when I find a piece in a museum or even just like someone designed something and I look under the table, because I always look under the table, and I go, huh,
You're one of those guys.
like this guy did like angled lap joints or like or some weird intricate joint, and then like blended the wood all together when he rounded it over. It wasn't just like ran a router and whatever. Like something that's like, you did this for yourself and you did this for someone else. I really appreciate that. And I've had this idea of a 3-legged table. This was more of like a coffee table where the legs are almost like one leg is kind of going at a 40, let's say a 45. The angle's probably wrong, a 30 or 60 degrees, depending on how you're looking at it. Going across to the next leg, and it almost does like a half lap joint over that leg. And that leg think of like, again, it's like an L, upside down L, going across the other way, and that
Can't even draw.
half laps over the next leg, and then that third leg half laps over the first leg, and it just kind of connects into like an intricate thing. You guys just
Braden
drawing
tried to
stuff?
draw it, so did I. I can't draw.
Okay, yeah. So I would try and do what Dan has there, where it starts as almost as like a single piece,
pillar,
or it's
yeah.
tight. Yeah. So you're getting a pillar Because I think
Where it
what's
just
breaking,
comes together, it doesn't have to be a fix though.
right? But you have a tighter center of gravity. I think the part that's breaking my brain is I'm trying to figure out how to make this thing this tall with 3 separate legs, like a side table, but
How
taller.
tall
And
did he
I
say
just,
it was? 30 inches?
I don't know if did he specify the height?
No, he just said
Yeah.
how
A cocktail table is you're looking at
that's like
tall-
here.
a little taller than a
cocktail
counter.
table is like 36 inches tall, like tops.
Okay, I was thinking taller even than like a kitchen countertop, basically.
Maybe even
Yeah,
40.
that's
Maybe
what I
even
was
40.
thinking. So yeah, I would try and run them together, even if you run them, like Dan, like you said, independently, run them together and then flare them out towards the end through, some sort of miter, some sort of joint there, and flare
Right.
them out at the bottom so that you get the stability. Because that's what's breaking my brain here is I'm thinking of this really tall, narrow with like separate, straight down, like parallel legs.
I
And
do
all
have
I
the
see is it
internet at my
falling over.
fingertips. I could look this up.
And that's kind of where I was thinking, like the pillar down the center, and then you can flare the legs, halfway down the pillar or something, but it's not like from the edge of the table pointed straight down.
Yeah.
But I was trying to answer the question of like he's asking specifically a 3-legged cocktail table. It's like, all right, how can you make this work? And I like the
30 inches tall.
I like where the
What-
base
that's what-
is one thing.
That's
and
what
then
the internet's telling me. A cocktail
the top-
table's 30 inches tall.
So I'm thinking of like the top being attached to the base, not
Maybe
the legs
42 inches
being
tall.
attached to the tabletop. So, but I like the design. I think go have a little fun with it, because also if your joints aren't perfect or something, it's hidden under a top. You get to kind of play around with it a little bit. So go outside of your comfort zone, and I cannot recommend this enough. Do some trial with some scrap pieces to do your joinery. Just mess around with it. Like actually use it as an example. Like
make some mock-ups out of like some 2x4s or something.
2x4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poplar
Poplar's
or
easy
something
because it's
cheap.
just easy to cut. Highly recommend that. Good question. Good. Got our creative juices flowing. I like this.
That one broke my brain. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't
Just
take
whole
much,
thing-
does it, Braden?
that whole thing, I just had to shut it all down and reboot.
Well, speaking of shutting down and rebooting, our favorite IT professional that's not me, Kamani von Strayhorn.
Our patron.
Hey guys, hope you're doing all right. I wanted to call in last week with this question, but I had ordered a McDunlap the night before, and my stomach hasn't felt the same way since.
You're welcome.
So my question is, coming up in June, we have the West Coast Maker Meetup, which is awesome to have like another event for people to get together. I hope this, they keep doing it and it keeps getting bigger. But if you guys had the chance to put on your own maker event, what would it be like? Would it be like a mix of Workbench Con and Makers Camp? Would it be real low key? What are you doing? Would it be, what kind of things, events or kind of things would you like to have, or classes or speakers or whatever? So yeah, what are you doing, Step Horse? Sorry. Anyway, yeah, just wanted to know. Hope you have a good show. Later. Bye.
Whose
Pete,
horse
what
is
would
that?
you do? What would you do, and why would it be in Omaha?
So the reason I would throw an East Coast Maker Meetup is because we
Oh
don't have
my
enough of
God.
them out here.
And God knows we don't
There's
have enough of
there's
those.
too many. There's too
Here's
many.
the thing. I am all for a center of the U.S. Maker Meetup. I love you
But-
boys, but I don't think Omaha's the place.
It's name a more central city.
Dan's gonna fight.
I know Dan's getting on a truck thing again,
I'm-
but I don't know.
I'm
There's
ready
been-
for a fight tonight.
listen, Salt Lake's got a lot of
Not central.
things- not
Not central.
central enough. But
It's
like
not central.
I don't know where. I think even Texas, definitely not in
Not central.
the summer.
That's south.
Okay. Dan's just ready to fight today. But I think somewhere where that's like a big enough hub where everyone can go in somewhat direct. Like you got Atlanta, you got
I don't
obviously
know.
LA,
Maybe
New
Omaha.
York.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I have to get a layover to
Pete,
go
that's
all
not
the
my
way every
problem.
single time from
Pete,
Jersey.
I'm
Say
sorry
it.
you're poor and you don't have a private plane.
Pete, say Omaha because I want to see Dan try and fight that one too.
I think we should have it in Iowa.
Oh,
Des Moines would be okay, actually.
Nope,
I'd be
nope.
okay with
Opposite side of Iowa.
There's
Other
no
side of the
opposite
state.
side. Des Moines Central.
No.
So Pete,
No
Pete,
opposite
what
side.
what would you have at this
So if this
hypothetical
wasn't-
maybe
if this wasn't
central
a
East
Dan
Coast thing?
event, yeah, if this wasn't a Dan centric event and I had to throw it, I don't know what location, honestly. Like that's something we've always talked about, but we've kind of just honestly we haven't done because it's a lot of work. It's just a lot to get people
It's a
together.
ton of work.
It's
He
you know
said while yawning.
we we tend to lean into the events that already exist and just kind of lean into that and be like, hey, let's hang out at this thing that's happening. Because throwing these events a lot of times, like it's just a lot of logistics, and you're running around and not actually enjoying it. It's like throwing a wedding, you know. You're just like running around trying to say hi to everyone, and at the end of the day, you're like, I didn't even get to eat. So, but if I did it, it would be first of all the least, at least for me. I think maker meetup would be the priority. It wouldn't be, hey everyone, make this thing for this event, or you have to bring a item for a swap, or there'll be classes like literally a loosey goosey networking event, a lot of fun. Like I love Maker Camp.
Bring a
But
potato salad.
I don't love look for me personally, like I don't want, and I said it to Dan all the time, like I don't want to go to these events with homework. I have projects and I have stuff to do all the time. I don't want to have to go to a vacation where I'm going to enjoy my friends and the colleagues that I grew my business around, and have to bring homework or something that I have to do, or teach a class at WorkbenchCon or something, which is not out of the question. It's just something that I don't want to pursue. So I want everyone to come in with zero obligation, just come because they want to have fun and meet other like-minded people, like Maker Camp, but even without the making, you know. I love Maker Camp though. Like that's the thing. That event is so bomb that like I I don't, I can't one up that one, you know. But it would just be that, and then we could maybe do it in Omaha if Dan behaves. Speaking of Dan, Braden, what do you think? Where would you throw a meetup?
I want to say Omaha because the older I get, the less I want to drive any distance away from my house. Like Dan's house is at just the very edge of where I want to drive at any point. Omaha, I think could work. Honestly, I think for a Midwest maker meetup, if we're talking about hypothetically being the Midwest, it's gonna be Kansas City. It might be St. Louis. It's
I'd be okay with
gonna be a
KC.
Actually,
bigger.
I wouldn't hate that either.
It's gonna be a bigger hub. So that's probably where it's going to be. I totally agree with you. I love WorkbenchCon, I love Maker Camp, but the thing that I always end up doing is I have a list of things that I feel like I need to do at both events that are fun and I get a lot of value out of them, but I have it's work. Like I've got to do work. And what I end up doing is I end up blowing it all off anyway and just hanging out with my hood rat friends and telling a bunch of dumb jokes and just enjoying the community. And I think that a no, like a stress-free, no strings attached type hangout event, I think it there's a sweet spot on what we need in the maker community, and it's an event like that. So get some food, get some brands, they can pitch the stuff and we can just hang out. And if we want to learn, we do that anyway. We ask each other, hey, how do I build a cocktail table with 3 legs that, go in like an infinity loop or whatever. We're going to figure that out anyway. We're going to have those conversations. We don't necessarily need to set up a lot of structure to do something like that. So I think having a stress-free hang sesh is exactly what I want to do. My favorite thing to do is to hang out in all of our shops and just shoot the shit and drink beer. So let's do that. Maybe we can have cornhole.
Ooh, yes. And maybe
like a
karaoke.
nice oh yeah. Oh, gotta have karaoke. Like a nice cookout.
Cookout. You're invited to the
So,
cookout.
what
do you think?
What do you think, Dan? Where should we have this thing?
I will concede that Kansas City might be a good option.
That's a good option.
Only because they have an international airport where they can get direct flights in. Only
Agreed.
because of that.
Nothing to do with the great food in the area or the
No,
No.
there's great food in the area, but however, like my dream scenario is I think last year, the year before, we took the camper down to a local little campground. I think that by little I mean like they could accommodate like 400 campers. I mean Like it's not super little. We went down there because my wife and daughter went to the Taylor Swift concert, and my son and I, we just stayed at the
So
campground.
jealous.
See, Swifty baby.
I want to go.
So like at a campground like that, I think that would be super fun. Like if everybody congregated onto that campground, obviously we would have to coordinate it with the campground owners, but like Braden said, like just show up with no obligations. Everybody just, if you're coming with a camper, cool. If you're not, bring a tent. If you're coming with no expectations, maybe you could bunk with somebody who has a tent or a camper. I just think it would be super fun to just be chill and hang out and BS with people around a campfire and just hang and talk.
That's why I
with
like
no obligations. I
there's
think that'd be
merit
super
to
fun.
you guys talking about like Omaha, right? Because like it's close to you, and I think the biggest point we can make here is like the best meetups are the ones you could drive home after.
Yeah, absolutely.
The ones that are close, the ones that are quick and impromptu, there's no big event. You don't have to get a hotel. You don't have to fly somewhere. If you want to, that's cool. But like the ones where you could just like get together with your friends or meet some new people in the area, especially like within a couple hours of you, it's super fun. That's why like I'm going to this like hockey game. Like I don't watch hockey, I'm gonna probably know like maybe half the people there, if not even.
And here's the thing.
It's just fun.
We don't have anything like that in the Midwest. There's nothing that I'm aware of.
You guys need
absolutely
an Omaha
nothing
meetup. And the thing is, all you got to do is plan it. Just tell people like, "Hey, we're meeting up August 31st,"
and just like grow it from there.
Going to Raising Cane's.
Just start pimping it out.
Going to Raising Cane's. We're bringing our festival dominoes.
I've already talked to the local farm by us here, like about doing an event there and like renting out their pavilion, and just like I might ask my buddy that does has a barbecue truck.
I don't want
to
it to be a 1 day thing though. Like if we do something like that, I want it to be like at least a 2 day event, if not more. That's why I think a campground would be
fun though. I do like
would
that.
be great. Would be ideal.
Love camping.
I do think that it's a good point to notice is the fact that we all three of us immediately locked on the idea of some sort of hangout where we could be with our friends and not have to do more work.
Because it's a lot of work.
It's
We're
a lot
not
of
a
work.
company. We're a bunch of buddies.
I want to get away from my work and just like chill
Yeah.
and hang out and talk with people of like-minded like mindsets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Was that all the
I
questions?
don't know.
That was
that's
it.
good.
That was all 4 questions, right? You played 4?
That was 3 questions. We don't have a 4th one. You making stuff up again?
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Did we not have one from Toma?
No Toma this week.
Wait. Did we?
Yeah, check the spam. Check the spam. Make sure he didn't say the forbidden word again.
Not seeing any unless nobody flagged it.
I always flag them.
Did you find one and you're just playing coy?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Okay. No question.
Spam is just the normal 37 a day emails from Hidden Valley Ranch.
We can be on the first page of Google like we are already. Yeah, that's great. Good questions, guys. This is good. We need to get back into the core of the show. It used to be a lot more questions. I'm sorry, this one is long. We're over 2 hours at this point.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
See that this is our maker meetup every single week.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. This is
in post.
This is what we do.
I could speed this up. I can speed it up.
Times 2 speed for the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. This is all good stuff. We talked about a lot of good things this episode. I loved it. It's crazy to me that like we fill up 2 hours like it's nothing. And we like all we're doing is following like what we need to talk about. It's not even like we're going off on crazy tangents. Not that crazy. Not that crazy. But well, let us know if you guys enjoy this length of the show, and if you don't, too bad. We'll see you next week with that. We do want to give a huge shout out to some of our favorite people, like of course Malcolm, and I will not attempt to say his last name because I always mess it up. From Bossa Nova Woodworks, that is the voice
McCutcheon.
of McCutcheon.
McToucher?
McTouchin our hearts.
No, terrible. Malcolm from Bassanova Woodworks, thank you so much for being the voice of AWP. We love you. And of course, a huge shout out to all of our patrons for being incredible and helping keep the lights on, all of the very, very colorful lights on all of our backgrounds. And if you want to see the lights, the best way to do that is to just check us out on youtube.com/Another Woodshop Podcast, where every week on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, that's specific. We do a live for an hour where we hang out with our listeners and just have a grand old time and answer questions and just go back and forth. A mini hangout, a mini maker meetup every single week. So we recommend you guys join us there. And of course, we want to
a virtual maker meetup.
Virtual maker meetup where it's BYOB. Sorry, no snacks. And of course, we want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor this week, PwnCNC. Again, use code AWP for 5% off at checkout. And go check out all of their awesome CNC accessories and give your CNC some flair. Did we miss anything else?
Hey, if you want to join the Met Army, go over to patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast and get joined up over there. And if you don't want to help us financially, you can always share the show wherever you purvey social media, whether it be on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the YouTubes, or even TikTok, as long as it lasts. Who knows?
And Threads.
Threads. Oh my goodness. Yes, Threads.
Check out the AWP Tumblr account.
Do we even have? We might have one. I don't know. We went on a rampage for a while. We might. And leave us a review.
Review us.
Make
that a 5-star review though, please.
Has to be 5 stars.
So Dan, what's on your bench?
What's on my bench?
Nothing now. We're done. This is old news.
What is that attitude, Dan?
What are we still doing here?
I don't know.
Go home.
Let's get the heck out of here. I'm done with this.
And at the end of the day, there was 3.
Okay. Sir, music. Do we have
No, Pete, music? Don't play the music. Don't play the music. I'll put it in. Thank you.
Okay.
I was just waiting for the music.
I hate you so much right now, Pete. I hate you. Anyway, love you all very much. Long time. See you next week.
I love you guys long time. I'll see you guys in the text that we're gonna have after this.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.